Hi, I'm Aldona. If we've met before in one of my classes, welcome to the new way of communicating, at least for the next little bit. If we've not met yet, that's okay too. You are also welcome. Everybody is welcome here. So I'm here to encourage you to move. Movement is good. We all know that. It's good for the body, it's good for the mind, it's good for your overall well-being. If you've been in any of my classes, you've probably heard me say on more than one occasion, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. And these days, that's even more true. We all have different ideas of what movement is, whether it's running a marathon or simply picking up your cup of coffee. I just want to encourage you to move. Find something that works for you and then go from there. I'm all about finding modifications, finding what works for you on any particular day and going with that. Find what works and do what you can. So you'll have a few options. We want to find a space that you can sit comfortably for a few minutes. So you know that you have your traditional choice of lying down on your mat in Shavasana. You can sit on your mat if that's going to be your more comfortable space. If neither of those work, you can sit on a chair, anywhere where you think you're going to be able to sit relatively comfortable for a few minutes. If you're going to sit cross-legged on your floor, on your mat, you might need a couple of things to make you a little bit more comfortable if sitting just on the floor isn't quite right. So we have what I call, or I'm sure I've talked about it in class before, our bolster. This is one version of our bolster. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't have one of these, but I bet you have a pillow. Something that you can sit on that's going to elevate your hips a little bit, just in case your hips and knees are a little tight, and that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable to be able to sit. Now, obviously, if you don't have one of these, or if you don't have a pillow, you can take a blankie and kind of roll it up so it's a space that you can sit on. Basically, you put it down, whatever you're going to use, and you sit on it. So you know I've said in class before, we've used our blocks. Now again, you probably don't have one, but you can use a book, a couple of books, anything really, maybe even a little stool. Find something around. The whole idea is to look around your space, find what you got, make a compromise. Remember, just do what you can. So I'm going to choose to sit today. I'm going to use my little bolster because I know that my hips are always a little bit tight, and sitting on my bolster always feels a little bit better. If you want to lay down on your mat in our traditional Shavasana, which you all know is one of my favorite poses, by all means, you can go there. If you're going to sit in a chair, maybe even sit against the wall, maybe that's going to help you. Figure out what you're going to do and start making your way there. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds. If you're going to lay down on your mat, start making your way there. I'm going to sit on my bolster, and I'm going to try to find my cross-legged position, the one that's going to work best for me. So we know that, again, I've mentioned this in class before, if we're sitting and we're not quite comfortable in the knees and hips, and our knees are a little bit not so happy, we can put that book or anything underneath our knees so it can relax on the knees. You basically want to be sitting, but not so much that you're like gripping, gripping, gripping. So find your space. You all know me. I'm always a little bit cold. So I'm going to use my little blankie and I'm going to put it comfy wumpy over my knees. So if you're going to lay down, I'll talk you through that a little bit. If you're going to sit, find your sit, either on your mat, on your bolster, on your book, on your block, on your blankie. If you're sitting in your chair, get comfy in your chair. I'm going to see if I can get nice and comfy here. I am going to close my eyes so that I take away the distraction of all the stuff that's behind the camera that you don't see. Maybe one day you'll see it, but not today. If you're laying down on your mat, on your back, find a comfortable leg position. If your legs are long, try to take them a little bit wider. Relax your feet, which usually means that the feet spread out a little bit to the outside of your mat. So basically try to relax your foot. Relax your hips. Relax your torso. Find which hand position on your back is going to suit you best. How far away from your body is going to be best for you today? What's going to be most comfortable for you today? Make sure that the neck is comfortable and that your head is comfortable. If you're in a sit position like me, whether on the mat, on the floor, on the mat, on your bolster, on your book, or on your chair, you basically are going to try to wiggle jiggle yourself a little bit so that you are comfortable. Try to sit as tall as you can today. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You might notice that you do have a little bit of a curve today. That's okay. Do what you can just to see if you can sit relatively still for a few minutes. I'm going to try to soften my feet. I'm going to try to soften my knees, my hips. Again, choosing the hand position that suits you best for right now. Is it simply in your lap? Maybe comfortable for you is having your hands on your knees, on your thighs, with your palms facing up. Maybe it's something a little bit different than that. Find what works for you. And just start to breathe. Don't try to change your breath right now. Just breathe. We know that if we're not breathing, we've got some bigger problems going on. So in these very interesting times that we are in right now, let's just notice what our breath is today. And as you take a few breaths, you might notice, it's pretty much the same as every other day. You might notice that it's considerably different than your breath was, let's say, a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. That's totally understandable. My breath certainly isn't the same. I'm glad I'm still breathing. So I'm just going to check in today with what my breath is. trying to notice, is my breath full? Is it a little bit less than full? Is it smooth? Is it choppy? And as I'm breathing, in whichever position you've chosen, either your Shavasana, your corpse pose, or sitting, how do I feel today? Am I uneasy? Am I the same as every other day? And notice that breath as it comes in. As you take that inhale, notice what you notice. Do you feel the front side of your body expanding, whether on the floor or in your sit position? Do you notice that your breath is just in your belly? Is it just in your collarbone? Or has it gone somewhere else? Just notice what you notice. What is your inhale like right now? And then start to notice your exhale. What's going on with you in your exhale? What do you notice? Do you notice a sinking feeling, a heaviness? What do you feel? We're all going to feel something a little bit different. You might start to notice that you're having a hard time keeping still, and that's okay. If you need to wiggle jiggle a little bit, if you need to adjust, if you need to move a little bit to get more comfortable, that's okay. Do the best to try to find your stillness. Do your best to move those other distractions away so that you can notice your breath. And there's no correct or incorrect answer here. If you're breathing, you're doing fine. I just want you to acknowledge your breath. It's basically the start of everything that we do. Whether you're practicing yoga or any other activity, you really are starting with your breath. And I just wanted to touch base with my breath. And if I notice that my breath is maybe smoothing out a little bit as we are in our position for a little bit longer, yeah, I'm happy. But don't worry if your breath is not smoothing out. That's okay. I think many of us are having a hard time smoothing out our breath. It's normal. We're human. Do the best you can. So just take a few more deep breaths. Not so deep that you're creating tension, you're creating exertion. Just see if you can sip in a little bit more air. And then let go of that air. And then do it again. Inhale and exhale. And as you're breathing, do you notice anything different within your body? Are you getting a little bit more relaxed? Maybe yes. Maybe no. Either answer is okay. It's just what you got going on today. Tomorrow's going to be different. Yesterday was probably different. Maybe you have distractions around you right now that are bothering you. Maybe the space that you've carved out for yourself is not ideal. That's okay. Do what you can. Even if you're noticing that you're tensing up, trying to be still, that's okay. We're going to work on all of that. Just a few more breaths here, just to remind yourself breathing is a good thing. Whether you're perfectly still or not, whether you're fidgeting or not, whether you just can't get to your breath or not, we're just trying to do the best we can with what we've got going on today. If you're in a sit position, just stay where you are for a few more seconds. If you're lying down on your mat or on your floor or wherever you're lying down, just start to invite those little gentle movements back to your body, those little wiggle jiggles that we use. Whether it's starting with your fingers and toes, moving your legs, moving your hands, moving your wrists, your ankles, whatever it is, just start a little bit of movement from your lying down position. Bending the knees. And taking your time to come up to a sit position. We won't be in a sit position for very much longer, so just do the best you can. You can still use your pillow or whatnot. And as we come to our sit position, once again choosing the best hand position that suits you best, either in your lap, on your knees, or on your thighs. If you're comfortable enough, you can take your palms to press into each other, taking your thumbs to your heart center. Whatever you've chosen, see if you can soften your shoulders a little bit down your back. Do the best you can with sitting as straight as you can, even if it's a little bit of a curve. Do what you can. And let's all take a collective breath here. A nice deep inhale. Release in your exhale. We'll finish here, honoring the divine light that is located within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. We'll talk soon. Bye for now. Oh, and I can't forget about some housekeeping. If you know somebody who might like these videos, please share. Please consider subscribing, and please consider hitting that thumbs up thingy. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.